Basically, the forms of verb to be is, are, was, were, am are largely considered as copular linking verbs. However, any change in this rule means that different meanings are involved. Okay, I talked about the strict forms of adjectives, the strict use of adjectives, where we have the adjectives coming before the nouns, and we have some of these adjectives coming after the noun, strictly in that form, not, and again, we have some adjectives that can exist in both ways, that can be used in both ways, coming before and after. However, for the last one that I said about the strict rules, the strict uses, where we have the one coming before and the one coming after, any change in this rule means that different meanings are involved. Different meanings are involved. For instance, you talk about the teachers present. The teachers present, I mean, you're talking about those who are attending. The teachers present at this ceremony, like those who are attending. And when you stretch it and you put the present before the teachers, right? The present teachers, you mean those on the staff. Those on the staff. The present teachers isn't the same thing as the teachers present, right? So we're having a slightly different meaning. Those who are attending, the teachers present. Those on the staff, the present teachers. And now it is also important to say that staff is a group noun, right? And it doesn't originally, in its real form, attract plural, attract an S, right? You can't say staffs, right? Except you're talking about, let's say you have LearnCity staff, right? And so we have another organization, we have the staff in that particular organization, and we have another organization, we have the staff in that particular organization. So you can say the staffs from different organizations. That is correct. But talking about a singular organization, you're going to refer all of them, you're going to have them as a group now. And to specify the member of that particular staff, you're going to use member, the member of the staff, and not one of the staffs. C'est pas possible comme ça. But you can have one of the staff, right? One of the members of the staff. That is correct. But what you wouldn't have what you wouldn't have is saying one of the staffs. Say that is not correct. Now there are some adjectives ending in ing. I told you about present participle, and there are some adjectives that end in ed. May look like verbs having similar endings. That's what we're talking about. Present participle ing, past participle ed. A dancing girl, from the verb dance. A dancing girl, from the verb dance. So you have dancing as the adjective there. Okay, the present is the present participle that functions as an adjective. We can also have a crying baby, for instance, a crying baby. So crying there is an adjective that qualifies the baby. Let's say the swimming lady or man, for instance. So we have the swimming qualifying the man. So adjectives that have the ing like that are derived from verbs, they are called present participle, but they function as adjectives. All right. Now, a wanted man, for instance, from the verb want. A wanted man from the verb want. All right. So you have the ed, and that's the past participle of the verb want. But however, in a talented artist, please, let me say a couple of things here. There is a difference between artist that you're seeing on the screen here, artist, without the E. Okay, it means a person that draws or paints, right, or does sculpture or works of art, basically. drawings, paintings on the wall and all of that. That is artist, artist, without the E. Now the second one that we have with the E is pronounced with the stress on the second syllable, artist. Okay, there's a difference. Artist is the stress on the first syllable, which means someone that draws or paints, right, or does artworks. Let me put it that way. That is artist. The second one with the E, artist, okay, it means someone that dances or sings or acts. Someone that dances or sings or acts. For instance, an actor is what is an artist and not an artist, right? But a painter is an artist and not an artist. Is it clear, no? Yeah, that's clear. So when we talk about a talented artist, there is no verb to talent. Okay, that is just the noun, the adjective as it is. Okay, perhaps now in this form you discover that we can have talent as a noun. In some cases, I think very rare occasions, you can have adjectives that are derived from nouns. As we have in a case where you have talent and you have a talented artist, because there is no verb to talent there. It's not like we have wanted and you have want as a verb. You have dancing, and you have dance. You discover that I'm pronouncing T there because there is a T there, although it's optional. Dance, there is a verb there, but there's no verb to talent. Now you understand that you can use your ing forms and your ed forms as adjectives. Now let's make a clarification on these two words, mature and matured. Mature and matured. Now, mature as a word without the D is an adjective. It exists as an adjective. Say, for instance, the girl is mature. That is an adjective. The girl is mature. You have that as an adjective. Okay? A mature girl, that is also an adjective. Remember, earlier in this video, I said that an adjective can come after. So the girl is mature. Now, mature is the word that describes the girl because you have a linking verb there, is. The girl is mature. Then you have a mature girl. You have mature coming before the noun that it modifies, a mature girl. That is correct. So when you use mature as an adjective, it doesn't take D. We can't have it in the past participle. We can't say the girl is matured. No, because mature there is becoming a verb. Okay, but when you have mature with the D as a verb, you have matured, mature, matured, right? For instance, you say the girl has matured. There it is clear that you have an anomalous verb, has, which must be followed by the past participle of a verb. Remember that has, have, and had are anomalous verbs. They are always followed by the past participle of any verb. Has, have, and had. And they are used to specify the perfective tenses that we have. In my subsequent videos, I will also be looking at the perfective tenses, the present perfect tense, the past perfect, the present perfect continuous, and the future perfect, and all of these tenses. Now you discover that they have the has, had, have, and had. So in this case, it is clear that there is a verb there which requires the past participle. So you have the girl has matured as a verb. The girl is mature as an adjective, no D. A mature girl as an adjective, no D. Clear. Now, for the ed and ing, I should say a couple of things there. Ing adjectives, it's a present, will have a present participle, right? Ing is a present participle, but a present participle that is working as an adjective in function, okay? Ed is a past participle, and it can also work, apart from being used after has or have or had as a perfective tense, or as in perfective tenses. We can also have the ed as an adjective, like a wanted man that we talked about earlier in this video. Now, bored or boring, which one are we to choose? ING adjectives that talk about someone or a thing sending a feeling out or causing a feeling we'll use the ING, right? It talks about someone or a thing sending a feeling out or causing a feeling. For instance, when you talk about a boring lecturer, here you mean that the lecturer is the one causing the boredom, right? Not the one receiving the boredom. So for ING adjectives that we have actually mean that the one actually performing that particular action there, technically, or the one actually causing the feeling. When you say a dancing lady, we actually mean that the lady is the one actually performing the action. When you say a boring lecturer, we mean that the lecturer is actually the one causing the boredom, as we have, and not the one receiving the boredom. That is for the ING adjectives. Talk about someone or a thing sending a feeling out or causing a feeling. Now for the EG adjectives, they talk about someone or a thing receiving a feeling or being affected by that particular feeling. For instance, a bored lecturer is not the same thing as a boring lecturer. In a boring lecturer, the lecturer is the one sending out the feeling, right? The lecturer is the one causing the boredom. The lecturer is the one, releasing the boredom. But in a bored lecturer, the lecturer is the one being affected by the boredom. Is the one receiving that feeling, which is the boredom that we have. Now, take for instance, when you say the students are bored, that means the students are affected by something, which is boredom, right? And it's different from saying the students are boring. When you say the students are boring, we actually mean that the students are the one causing the boredom, right? Are the ones sending out the boredom. Now, other examples are interesting and interested. When you say the movie is interesting, that means the movie is sending out a particular feeling, which is that of interest, okay, arousing your interest. And it's different from saying you can't say the movie is interested, right? You can't say the movie is interested because is the movie actually being affected by something, by the interest? No, so that possible comes up. I am embarrassed, okay? Take note of the spelling of embarrassed, R-R-S-S. I'm embarrassed, right? So you have that means I'm affected by something, which is embarrassment. And, the scene or this particular scene in the movie is embarrassing. It means that it's actually sending out, it's causing embarrassment, or you're embarrassing me, for instance, but that is a verb, okay? I'm dealing with adjective. This is an embarrassing moment for me. That means the moment is the one sending out the embarrassment that we have. Confusing, relaxing, relaxed. So we can make a distinction between the ED adjectives and the ING adjectives by saying that the ING adjectives talk about someone or a thing sending a feeling out, causing a feeling, and the ED adjectives talk about someone or a thing receiving a feeling or being affected by that particular feeling that we have. In interesting and interested, the feeling there is interest. In embarrassing and embarrassed, the feeling there is embarrassment. In confused and confusing, the feeling there is confusion. Take note, it's not confusion, it's confusion. In relaxing and relaxed, the feeling there is that of what? A relax. All right, and other adjectives that we have in this category. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.